The death of a local college student could change the bar scene in Philadelphia.
A news anchor we've been watching for over a decade has been taken off the air, what Brian Williams shared with Temple students just a few months ago.
And a Delaware County teen has been found dead in her dorm, why investigators call it suspicious. All that and more now on Temple Update. Hello, you're watching Temple Update. I'm Nick Cutrona.
And I'm Jade Jarvis. The buzz on campus is still the big Super Bowl game, but students aren't talking about football. Temple took the spotlight with a 30-second commercial in the third quarter of Super Bowl 49.
Say we've got grit, and we'll take it as a compliment. Because it's our uncommon drive, our spark within, that brings us together and sets us apart.
The theme focused around the Take Charge campaign. Students were given the chance to vote between the city skyline or Stella the Owl for the ending of the commercial. Stella fans beat out the competition for the alternate ending. 7,000 voters told Temple which ad they wanted to see. Close to 350,000 people saw the commercial before it even ran, giving Temple a huge boost in marketing. VP of Strategic Marketing and Communications Karen Clark says the school continued efforts to increase pride and engage potential students.
People start to think something's really going on at Temple. Temple has this momentum right now where from basketball to Stella to the academic performance to the kinds of internships that students are getting, things are really gaining momentum at Temple.
And the student opinion on campus? Well, it's pretty much unanimous. They say they're glad to see Temple taking the spotlight.
We always hear about the big powerhouse schools, University of Georgia, Syracuse, and things like that, and we're definitely a top contender, but to know that it was a part of the Super Bowl makes me feel like a lot more people will be able to learn about our university.
I think having an ad like that is beneficial to the school's reputation, given the fact that so many people overlook Temple.
A group of students studying away also got to join in on the excitement. This video is from Temple Update's Kevin Ott, who is out in Los Angeles. He and his friends streamed the Philly broadcast of the game to see the Temple commercial. Owls were cheering on their school from the East Coast all the way to LA in a California living room.
Temple University and Temple Athletics are now part of the nationwide It's On Us initiative.
Us, Temple University, to stop sexual assault.
To take charge, ignite change, and unite our power.
We are a living...
Temple is joining President Obama, universities, and major companies across the country in an effort to end sexual violence on college campuses. Members of Temple took a pledge in a promotional video to bring awareness to the student body. You can be part of the salutation and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
NBC News has suspended nightly news anchor Brian Williams for 6 months without pay. The network says Williams embellished an experience he had while covering the Iraq War. Williams apologized on air last week for exaggerating his role in a helicopter incident during the war in 2003. He initially took himself off the air following his confession, saying, in part, "It has become painfully apparent to me that I am presently too much a part of the news due to my actions." NBC News made the decision to suspend him late Tuesday, and NBC said they will continue to investigate the way he has represented stories, while Lester Holt will continue as his substitute. Brian Williams visited Temple last fall to receive the Lou Klein Excellence in the Media Award. He recalled his experience of the Iraq War in a talk with students.
What an honor it has been going to Iraq with them, going to Afghanistan with them, and I'm the only one unarmed among them. And we are going out on a patrol designed to cause contact from the enemy. I have seen the very best of U.S. Armed Forces.
While at Temple, Williams did not mention the specific details of the Iraq War that led to his suspension.
A teenager is in custody after his girlfriend was found dead in a Millersville University dorm room. Millersville University police found freshman Carly Hall dead Sunday night. The Delaware County woman's death is under investigation for suspicious circumstances. Her boyfriend, Gregorio Oristieta, is charged with aggravated assault. The investigation showed that there was a fight between the two earlier in the day. Oristieta is not a Millersville student. The university is holding candlelight vigils and other events in remembrance of Hall throughout the week.
Police are looking for a gunman involved in the shooting of 2 freshmen at a nearby university. 2 Bloomsburg students from Philadelphia were shot earlier this week at a house about 2 blocks off campus. One victim is in critical condition after being shot in the chest. The other was released from the hospital within 24 hours. Police say the act was not random and there is no threat to the university community.
A fatal accident last fall is behind new legislation that would affect any place in Philadelphia that serves alcohol. City Councilman Curtis Jones is proposing that these establishments should have surveillance cameras installed outside. Updates Leanna Daywalt is live from Masters Bar on Carlisle with more. Leanna?
Thanks, Jade. By now, Shane Montgomery has become a household name. The 21-year-old Westchester student drowned in the Schuylkill River after leaving Kildare's Irish pub in Manayunk early Thanksgiving morning. There were no cameras outside of Kildare's, and the search for Shane lasted 5 weeks.
Plan to introduce a bill that requires establishments that serve alcohol to have external cameras for their safety, but also the safety of their customers.
Councilman Jones has been working closely with Shane's mother, Karen, to put this bill into effect. But liquor license establishments around the city are already asking questions. The number one being cost.
I don't think cost is the issue, but even if it is, we might be able to provide currently 50% of the installation cost through SafeCam.
If this legislation were to be passed, that would mean all Philly bars, including those around Temple's campus, would be directly affected.
Really see any kind of concern or problem with having the cameras. We have cameras outside. However, if I didn't have cameras and have to put cameras in this place, it would be exorbitant expense.
Although the bill has just been introduced, it has quickly gained a lot of attention, including Temple students who have mixed feelings on the topic.
It's unfortunate what happened to Shane Montgomery, but at the same time, it's a little unnecessary for each business to have to accrue the cost of one unfortunate event.
I think it's a good idea because if anything ever happens to someone who leaves a business, they can track where they've been, have at least a little idea of what happened.
Now here at Masters Bar, they do have exterior cameras, but it's unclear how many places in Philly do have working cameras outside their establishment. Councilman Jones wants to change that. He plans to propose his bill to council today. Reporting live on Carlisle for Temple Update, I'm Leanna Daywalt.
Thanks, Leanna. Independence Blue Cross will sponsor the Philadelphia Bike Share set to ride out this week. The bikes will now be called Indigo after an $8.5 million contribution from the insurance provider. Officials say the operating cost for the inaugural year will be paid completely by the sponsor's single donation. Riders will be able to use credit, cash, or a pass to pay for the bike fee. It's unclear how much passes will cost. There were some changes around campus that you may or may not have noticed. The informational kiosks located around campus have been removed. The flyer holders are now missing in front of Anderson and Gladfelter, Annenberg Hall, by the library, and on Paulette and Leah Coors walks. James Creedon, VP of Operations at Temple, says the kiosk did not serve a useful purpose anymore.
Every year we have to go in and take all the litter off and remove all the staples. It just really didn't seem to be serving any purpose anymore. A lot of the times the posters and what people would take off would end up on the ground.
If you build it, they will come, and that's the message Temple Community Gardens and the Office of Sustainability is trying to send to future volunteers. Temple Update's Phil DuPont has the details on a design contest in the Temple community.
Hard is, but to build a home, you must first design it. The Office of Sustainability created a design contest as a way for fellow Temple Owls to help each other.
Students of different disciplines will be divided into teams and they'll come up with design schemes to create a tiny house for Temple Community Gardens.
A panel of judges is spending a little over a week after the competition deciding the winners. One of those judges is Sandy Vogel.
Our gardens serve as a place for the Temple community to not just only relax and hang out in a green space, but also to interact with their green space.
TCG's event coordinator, Elliot Wilson, hopes the new building will open up the space.
We want to see people interacting with each other, and having students with the neighbors could really, really thrive at the garden space.
Solar panels like these on the roof of Solar States in Old Kensington are exactly what the judges are looking for in the students' designs to help take a place like Philadelphia and make it a lot more energy efficient.
By doing this kind of competition, it gives you the perspective of how you would engage in the real world of designing an actual project.
Contestants met for 10 hours creating digital models and blueprints to present for their final designs.
Well, today I'm doing a little bit of everything, but the civil engineer is the one who knows the structural requirements of the building that's being put up.
While the winning team gets $1,000, there are no losers in a competition where the product is a place students and local residents can come together. Reporting for Temple Update, I'm Phil DuPont.
Still to come on Temple Update, a report from around the world. See which familiar faces are in London.
And there was a Temple presence at the Grammys this year. Find out how.
I'm Rocco DiSangro with the Sports Desk. Men's basketball continues their hot streak. I've got highlights from their 6th straight win.
We have breaking news in the Temple Update newsroom. Philadelphia will be the site of the 2016 Democratic National Convention. The Democratic National Committee says it chose Philly as a patriotic backdrop for their next presidential candidate. The DNC announced the convention will be the week of July 25th, 2016.
You may be used to seeing Update's Tommy Sladek behind the sports desk, but now he's reporting from across the pond in London. Tommy gives us a look on how students studying abroad are adjusting to their new life with Big Ben.
The Royal Borough of Kensington, London.
An upscale, posh neighborhood known for its fancy cars, beautiful architecture, and of course, Kensington Palace, the home of members of the royal family. The 39 Temple University students arrived here a little over a month ago, and adjusting to a new culture is going to take time, and it will also come with some awkward moments.
Senior journalism major Abby Dury was completely thrown off by the simplicity of the bus system.
Used to SEPTA, where you just put tokens in and then get on the subway, but here you just tap a card and walk on, so it's much easier, but it was a weird experience at first.
Living in Kensington can be very pricey, which means students like Jordan Gummo have had to learn to cook. But cooking hasn't been the toughest adjustment. It's been making it to the grocery store safely.
Oh my gosh, the cars on the road. No matter what, they do not stop. I've been told so many times that they're on the left side, so I kind of am getting used to that.
A couple students finding themselves in these awkward situations view them as quite humorous.
The papers here are free, and so I got off the metro one day, and I'm going to pay the guy. I get my paper, and he kind of just looks at me like I'm crazy, and I felt kind of crazy because he was looking at me like that. So, yeah, I tried to give him some money, and he was like, "Yo, they're free. Get out of my face." And I did just that.
Reporting for Temple Update in London, I'm Tommy Sladek.
And Tommy started off his journey across the Atlantic with a splash. Our London correspondent's suitcase rolled away and into the canal while taking a picture of the Anne Frank house in Amsterdam. Tommy saved his stuff, but not without getting it a little wet. Now, luckily, that never happened to me when I was reporting from London 2 semesters ago. Temple Update reporter Kylie Masidi is in London as well. You can expect her story in 2 weeks on Temple Update.
Music's biggest night had a Temple connection. Ashley Kahn of NYU won a Grammy for Best Album Notes. He wrote John Coltrane's Offering album, recorded in Minton Hall. The album was recorded at a concert the sax player held on campus in 1966.
My philosophy actually about writing about music, whether it's books, articles, reviews, liner notes, is that it should never get in the way of the music itself. It should always be a path that leads directly to the music.
Offering's notes beat out albums that spanned all the way from the 1920s to 2013. The fourth American prisoner held by ISIS has died. Kayla Mueller was held in ISIS captivity for over a year and a half. The Islamic State reported that Jordanian airstrikes killed Mueller, and President Obama made a speech yesterday about the terrorist group, saying he plans on going after ISIS with strength and force.
I would be prepared to order our special forces to take action.
Still to come on Temple Update, we could see some of the coldest temperatures of the season over the weekend. Kylie Winkler has your Valentine's Day forecast.
And it may be cold outside, but the basketball team is heating up. Rocco DiSangro will tell you if the tourney bid is on the horizon.
Temple women's basketball lost big to UConn in a recent matchup, but that didn't stop one Temple Update volunteer from winning big at halftime. Watch this. Freshman Daniel Ray steps up to the line, launches the shot, and he swishes it. The crowd went wild. The winning shot even made it on ESPN's top 10 plays.
It was just basically a culmination of just a lot of emotions. When I saw the ball go in, I mean, obviously a lot of different thoughts went through my mind. The first one being like, that went in, like this is unbelievable. And just knowing that 5,000 people were now looking at me and cheering for me, it was a jubilant feeling.
Ray plans on putting the money towards school costs. All right, now we know Temple Update can make shots on the court, but let's check in on the basketball team.
Rocco DiSangro is at the sports desk with a look at the Owls' 6th straight win of the season.
Thanks, guys, and hey there, Owl fans. Welcome to the sports desk. I'm Rocco DiSangro. One coach resigned and another is suspended. I'll tell you which Temple teams are undergoing a leadership change. But first, I believe in the men's basketball team. The Owls took on the Cincinnati Bearcats in one of the most anticipated games of the year. It was a packed house Tuesday night at the Liacouras Center, and there were celebs in the building. Philadelphia Eagles and Cincinnati alumni Connor Barwin and Jason Kelsey were in the house to see their Bearcats take on the Owls. Will Cummings scored the Owls' first bucket with about a minute into the game, and it was off to the races from there. Quentin DeCozy was huge on the boards, pulling down a career-high 9 and 3 of those coming on the offensive end. DeCozy's play was one of the reasons the Owls piled up 16 second-chance points. Cummings plays all 40 minutes of the game, finishes with a game-high 21 points and 4 steals, and the Owls cruise to a 75-59 victory. And with that win, Temple basketball is now rolling for 6 straight. The sports desk Simone Cutrona was there.
Midway through February, there's only one thing on most college basketball players' minds.
You're watching the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship.
Coming into the matchup versus Cincinnati, the two teams were tied for 3rd place in the American Athletic Conference. The last time the Owls and the Bearcats met, Cincy smoked TU by a score of 84-53.
Just the way they kind of embarrassed us at their place was kind of eye-opener and kind of set everybody's fire under. We kind of just want to come out here and make a statement.
And in the rematch on February 10th, the Owls got their revenge.
People was telling me it was a Sports Center top 10, but I was just worried about getting back on defense. It was a good play. Jesse Morgan made a good play.
Thanks to solid offensive performances from Jalen Bond and Will Cummings, the Owls were the first team to put up 70 points or more versus Cincinnati in the Bearcats' past 27 games.
It's a really good win against a team that I think they have great mental toughness and great will, and I guess our will was very good tonight as well. So, no pun intended.
Even though March is on everyone's minds, Coach Dunphy is taking it one step at a time.
This is college basketball. Are we playing pretty well? Yeah, we're doing okay, but we got to protect how we're playing, and the only thing we can think about is East Carolina on Saturday. That's all you think about. It's the next step along the way, and if you do a good job, then anything else will take care of itself.
Temple has 6 regular season games left to show their stuff before the conference tournament. Reporting for Temple Update, I'm Simone Cutrona.
And it wasn't all cheers Tuesday night on campus. Women's gymnastics head coach Erin Murphy has been suspended, pending an investigation into violations of athletic department policy. The announcement came from Temple Athletic Director Kevin Clark. The suspension will run throughout the course of the investigation, which will be led by Temple University Athletic Department. Assistant coach Deidre Maddox-Bertotti will serve as the interim head coach in Murphy's absence. And Temple field hockey head coach Amanda Janney has resigned after being named the head coach at Indiana University. Janney posted a 1-14-94 record over 10 years as head coach and led the Owls to the 2014 Big East Championship game. The Owls would go on to lose to the UConn Huskies, who would later become the national champions. And women's lac started the season strong with a 10-9 overtime win against UMBC. For scores and more, give us a follow on Twitter at @TU_SportsDesk. I'm Rocco DiSangro. Back to you, Nick and Jade.
All right, thanks, Rocco. Still ahead on Temple Update, Kylie Winkler will let us know if Mother Nature will be giving us some love this Valentine's Day weekend.
And Temple Update's Becca Hendrickson is with Baker Dave talking about sweet treats to enjoy with your loved ones.
Oh, we'll be right back.
As Philadelphia dodged another winter storm this weekend, our neighbors to the northeast weren't so lucky. Here's the streets of Boston after getting snow for the 3rd time in 2 weeks. This round dumped more than 2 feet on the city, bringing a life in Boston to a standstill yet again. 37 inches of snow was recorded, and that was the most that Boston has ever seen. After seeing all that snow in Boston, we've been lucky with the snowstorms here in Philly this year.
Yeah, but I could definitely use a snow day off to relax from school.
Let's check in with Kylie Winkler at the Weather Center and see if we'll be seeing any snow coming our way this weekend.
Thanks, guys. Well, it's time to get out your winter coats and rain boots because we're tracking scattered showers all throughout the day. However, today will feel mild compared to what lies ahead. Right now, it's about 33 degrees and cloudy outside. Those clouds will linger all throughout the day and wind gusts will pick up, making it feel even colder outside. Tonight, temperatures will drop to a bitter 10 degrees, so it's important that you guys bundle up on your way to classes like Sally, the sorority girl, is. She's wearing her coat, winter hat, gloves, and scarf because she knows that the cold air is unfortunately going to be sticking around for a while. Moving into your 5-day forecast, we see those clouds parting and we'll actually get a glimpse of some sunshine tomorrow. But temps drop as we hit barely 22 degrees. By nighttime, clouds will roll back in and will reach a low of 18. This weekend starts out with a chance of snow on Saturday and a high of 39 with a low of 12. That precipitation will linger throughout the entire day, but will clear out by Sunday, and the Arctic air moves in, and we expect a high to only reach 18 or 17 degrees. By night, we'll see the coldest weather of the week with a low of 4 degrees. The cold sticks around for Monday, but the sun does come out. The high will reach around 25 with a low of 17. So make sure you're prepared for this bitter cold week ahead. To keep you updated on all things weather, make sure you follow us at Twitter at @TU_weatherwatch. Guys?
Thanks, Kylie. Since there's snow in the forecast, it might be the perfect opportunity to stay inside and cook up a sweet treat with your special someone.
Yeah, Becca, do you have something for the sweethearts looking for something for their sweetie?
Well, yeah, I thought on Valentine's Day it would be fun to maybe bake something. So I got together with Temple's favorite pastry chef, Baker Dave, to make a sweet treat for Valentine's Day. We're downstairs in the basement of Morgan Hall in the main kitchen, and I'm joined by Baker Dave. He's responsible for your favorite treats on campus. He's responsible for your freshman 15. He's going to be making us a special Valentine's Day treat today. So Baker Dave, can you explain what we're going to be doing?
Okay, so everybody loves chocolate dipped strawberries. So I thought, how fun would it be to show a little bit of the techniques with dipping strawberries, right? Real simple. You have your cold strawberries, and you're just going to take the strawberry. I always like to leave the green on because it gives you something to hold on to, and very simply dip, maybe even get a little excess off, and then
that's it?
That's it, right? So that's a pretty simple process. But I thought, maybe you want to do something more fun than just that. Have you ever seen, like, at fancy restaurants, they have tuxedo berries? To start with tuxedo berries, you want to dip the whole thing in white chocolate. So we'll each dip one. As you can see, I'm already starting to set up because the berry's cold.
So that just freezes on its own, that you don't even have to put it in the fridge.
Do not put it in the fridge. No,
Okay.
Absolutely not. And then what's cool is you take the chocolate and you'll dip like one side, like a V, and then the other side, like a V, and now you have your coat. And then you just got to get buttons on and a tie. And I thought red because Temple and Valentine's, right? And there you have a beautiful tuxedo berry. How special is that? I mean, at that point, now that you're so great with the bag, I mean, you could do anything.
Well, thank you, Baker Dave. Ready to try strawberry?
Sure. Take one of the first ones. Excellent. Nice crunch, right?
Looks delicious, Becca.
Yeah, how can I find out how to make some of those strawberries?
Well, you can watch Baker Dave on TU TV. Actually, he has his own show called Baker Dave Presents. It's Thursdays on TU TV at 11:30, so be sure to check that out.
Okay, thanks, Becca.
Sure will.
The Philadelphia Art Museum steps became a legendary icon after appearing in the Rocky movie. Now Temple University may be next. Sylvester Stallone dropped by the Performing Arts Center on Thursday, followed by the cast and crew of the latest Rocky spin-off, Creed. A fight scene from the new movie was filmed in T-Pack, while the crew set up camp in the parking lot behind Temple Towers. The production of Creed will continue through the city until mid-March.
Now that's all for Temple Update. For all things, log on to our website at templeupdate.com.
And don't forget to like us and follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter.
And you can always watch us 24/7 at templetv.net and on Comcast Channel 50 and Verizon Fios Channel 45. For Jade, Jarvis, and the rest of the Update team, I'm Nick Cutrona.
We'll see you next time.